Hello everyone, this is Allison with Green Goddess Plants and Seeds, and welcome to another garden chat. So this is part 2 of our tomato talks. So today I'm going to show you the cherry tomatoes that we're going to be growing out this year for the plant sale. So now some are brand new, so some are going to be a little bit different, and some I've grown before. I'm going to start here with Centennial Rocket. Centennial Rocket. This one, I wasn't sure where to put it. It's a small fruited variety, but it's too big to be really a cherry tomato, but kind of too small to be a slicer too. So I wasn't quite sure where to put it, but I decided to put it in with the cherry tomatoes this year. So Centennial Rocket, it is a Canadian bred tomato. It was developed in at the experimental farm in Lancome, Alberta, and it was released in 1967. So I grew this last year, and it is a very early tomato. Like it says, days to maturity is 50 days on this, and it was definitely the first tomato in our garden to flower, set fruit, and have the fruit ripen. And of course the fruits were quite small. I would say the largest one might have been golf ball sized, so they're not very big, but they're very prolific. Oh my god, it produced so many tomatoes last year. We didn't know what to do with them all. So a very prolific, a very good plant for short seasons, because we are in a short season area. The fruit, flavor-wise, it was more acidic than sweet, but it still had a really nice flavor. It'd probably be a really good one for making sauces. So this is the first one on our list for our small fruited cherry tomatoes. And this is also going to be one that I am going to be using in my own plant breeding program that I'm hoping to start this summer. So Centennial Rocket. Next on my list for cherry tomatoes, we've got some new ones here. I've got goldberries. These are a Wild Boar Farm variety. It's one that had heard of, and I heard a lot of people really like it. It was also one that I had a hard time finding seed for, but I managed to find the seeds for it. The goldberries, it's a cherry tomato, a lovely yellow cherry tomato, but the top part will actually stay like a indigo purpley blue color. It's new to me, so I can't actually say or speak to how it tastes or how it grows, but according to the description, it's a beautiful cherry tomato with a blue spot on the top. The unripe fruits are actually purple, but that it has a really great sweet flavor. The maturity date on the goldberries is 75 days, so it's quite a little longer than normal, but actually that's probably about average. 75 days for tomatoes, that's about average for most tomato varieties. But this is one that I've been looking forward to. I've been looking for the seeds for it for a while, so I'm finally glad I got some, and I'm going to be saving seeds from this variety. So the next one, we've got Brad's Atomic Grape. This is another one that I heard so much about last year. Everybody was starting to grow this one. It's supposed to be another new variety to me this year, but it's an elongated cherry, and it's supposed to have these beautiful purple, green, red stripes on it, and the fruit is supposed to be exceptionally sweet, and it's 75 days to maturity. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone's talking about with this variety. Like I said, it's new to me, but I've heard a lot about it. A lot of people grew it last year, and they were just raving about how wonderful, how sweet it was, and the flavors. So I'm looking forward to trying that one myself this year. The next up, we have Dark Galaxy. This is another Wild Boar Farm one, but the seed I purchased from Baker Creek. This one I have grown before. Again, it's another one that I wasn't sure where to put it. It's almost, the fruit are almost too big to be cherries, but kind of too small to be slicers. So I kind of threw it in with the cherries, kind of like the Centennial Rocket. it actually has a really the fruit is really quite beautiful, quite stunning. It has the speckling on it that as you can see in the picture, it really does look like that. They're quite nice. Flavor wise, I found it to be a bit not quite as sweet as some of the other ones, a little more acidic than sweet, but it still tasted great. It's an indeterminate variety. Maturity date on these, I think, is 75 days. So this is another beautiful tomato. If you're wanting to show off to your friends and neighbors, this is a beautiful tomato to grow. Very showy. Another tomato that I'm growing this year is called Helsing Junction Blues. This was the first blue, anthocyanin tomato that I grew in my garden. This was my first experience with that, and I just love it. It's my favorite because of that. It produces these nice average sized cherry tomatoes, and they do have that nice dark purpley coloration to them, almost black coloration. Like this, the side that faces the sun will become the darkest, and the side that is not exposed to the sun, it will actually stay red, or it'll turn red when it's ripe. And they have a wonderful, rich flavor, and they're nice and sweet. I noticed that when these ones come up, like when I'm starting seeds from them, the seedlings are actually purple too. So that's kind of cool. So this is a personal favorite of mine. So I'll be growing lots of those and saving seed. Now, I'm not actually starting seed yet for any of these. It's a bit early yet. I normally start my tomato seeds probably towards the end of March. They are one of the easier things to grow, but they do come up fast, so I don't want to start them too early. So my last pick for cherry tomatoes is called Sweet Aperitif. I've grown this one for the last 3 or 4 years, and it is my absolute favorite cherry tomato. I mean, I cannot rave about this one enough. This one was created by... Where's my notes here for Sweet Aperitif? Oh, I've lost them now. Oh well, it was produced by a company in England, and it produces these beautiful long trusses of really small cherry. I guess they're more like a currant tomato. Maybe they're quite small. These long, beautiful long trusses. They're a nice red cherry, and they are super sweet. You know, in the summertime when these are ripening, I will go out in the morning with my cup of tea, and my breakfast will be the cherry tomatoes off of this, straight picked from the plant. They are so sweet. I mean, lots of people, I recommend this to lots of people, especially people who are, looking for, Tiny Tims or Sweet Millions, or, the average tomato that you can find it, those ones you can find everywhere. I would highly recommend this instead of the Tiny Tims. This is awesome. I love this tomato, and this is why I don't grow the Tiny Tims or the Sweet Millions or any of those ones, because those can be found pretty much in every garden center. They're kind of average and normal. I try to grow stuff that's a little different, but just as good or even better than what you can find in your average garden center. So those are my picks for cherry tomatoes. Like I said, I don't normally start my tomato seeds until towards the end of March. I seed them in the house, and they come up very, very quickly. So if you're looking to start your own tomato seeds, they are probably one of the easiest things to grow from seed, because they just, within 3 or 4 days, my seeds will be up and they'll be, growing great guns. So they do come up fast, and they come up quickly. And normally what I do is once they get their first set of true leaves, I will transplant them into 2.5-inch pots, and then they'll stay in those pots for the sale. And then once the sale's done, whatever's left, I will pop into my own garden so that they can grow, and I can harvest the fruit and harvest the seeds and all of that. So it's going to be a great year. It's going to be an awesome year for tomatoes, I think. I've got so many different tomatoes to choose from. It was hard to just narrow it down, and I'll probably change my grow out list between now and when I start my seeds. I'll probably add a few. I know it was hard to pick just the ones that I picked, you know, because especially with the larger slicer tomatoes, there are so many wonderful ones that I have. I've got so many seeds for really good historic varieties that I haven't had a chance to grow out yet. So I guess that might be next year's goal, is growing out more of those ones that I haven't grown yet. So I know it's kind of a thing when you buy tomato seeds. You can't grow them all every year, so they kind of wait for the following years. But anyhow, that's just a really short garden chat today. So I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I'll be doing a couple more videos on the tomato varieties that we're growing this year. So have yourself a wonderful day, and until next time, take care.